Hi everyone. Recently, I ran a poll on my YouTube channel asking which guru's teaching I should cover next. So, most members chose Swami Vivekananda, and that's why I'm making this video. I have collected important quotes from his work, Swami Vivekananda's work on Karma Yoga, and how it helps us to attain moksha, that is enlightenment, and help us evolve in our spiritual journeys. So, let's begin with the first quote by Swami Vivekananda. Through selfless work, love, and service, the soul realizes its divine nature. This is the path of Karma Yoga. So, the Karma Yoga is all about working selflessly, not for your own sake, but for a higher purpose. Whatever work you are in, and making it for the purpose of pleasing the divine, or devoting as a devotion, as an offering to the divine. So, working as an offering to the divine is Karma Yoga. When you see yourself as an instrument of God, or when you consider yourself as a vehicle of a higher reality, that's when you realize that you are not this body and mind. The attachment with the body and mind dilutes and dissolves. So the idea that I am this body, that I am this mind, slowly dissolves. Work is just a way of devotion. You are telling yourself that I am not doing this work for my own sake, but as an instrument of God, as if the God has given me this work and I am just fulfilling it for His sake or for His behalf. That is the way you approach Karma Yoga, and that is the way how Swami Vivekananda also taught about Karma Yoga, being selfless in work. So whatever duties you have in your life, you see it as something given by God, and you carry out those duties as if you are offering your services to God, because at the end of the day you will realize that everything what is God, everything that is God. So even your work, if you see it as a divine offering, you will realize that everything is God very easily. So this is a path of self-realization itself, awakening itself. So the second quote is, work done with selfish motive is a failure and brings pain. Work done without selfish motives purifies the mind and leads to knowledge. So whenever we are selfish, whenever we think of ourselves, you will notice that we are in pain, we struggle, we strive. We are not very comfortable with just thinking about ourselves, because we are not aligned with our spiritual values when we just work for ourselves, work for our own sake. So even this exclusivity, this exclusive thinking that we should be thinking of ourselves, our own self, leads to suffering and pain. Because at the end of the day, uh, life is connected, life is whole. You cannot think just about yourself and be happy. So when just realize this in your own life, whenever you have done something for someone else, you feel true satisfaction, isn't it? So even a little selfless act that you carry out without even expecting anything from them, you feel a lot more happier than just working for yourself or fulfilling your own desires. As you share more and more, and as you give more and more, you find that yes, this is how happiness works. Whenever you are in uh, whenever you are able to give, you feel abundant yourself. Whenever you are able to share something from others, you feel that you have a lot yourself. So this is how you feel satisfied and content with what you have, and contentment is the greatest wealth. Now moving on then to the third quote, it is the level of detachment from the fruits of action that determines how close one is to the divine. So, whatever action we are doing, do not think about the results, do not hanker on the results, do not be overly concerned that how this will go in the end, because we do not have absolute control over the results. We do have control over our action, and our action are only things that we have control over. We cannot determine what the results are just by doing our best. So if a person is writing an exam, he should do his best. He should work as if he's working for a higher purpose, his God, his deity, and then he should leave the results for to God, as if God will take care of the results. But at the same time, his action should be the best action that he can ever do. This is what Swami Vivekananda thought. Do not seek anything for yourself. Give up all desires and be a servant of humanity. That is the highest religion. So, if you are serving humanity without even expecting anything in return, that's what makes you divine. That's what makes you godly. And that's a holy thought, a noble thought. This is not only a thought, but if you bring this in your life, what happens is just a miraculous uncovering of what reality is, because you are no longer attaching yourself with your own mind and thoughts. The more you give up your selfish thoughts, that is, I should get this, I should get that out of something, some action, that thought itself binds us. That thought itself is a bondage, because we are thinking, whenever we are thinking of our own sake and benefit, uh, that doesn't help us evolve spiritually. That doesn't help us see that what truth is, what reality is. So as much as it is possible, live for others, live for the sake of others, live for service for the mankind. This is how you evolve spiritually. This is how you grow. True growth, true spiritual growth is just in being selfless. Is just in being more and more inclusive. You are now no longer attaching yourself to the single body and mind, but you are now seeing others as your own self, and that's how you are serving them wholeheartedly. And when you are able to do that, you will realize that this is what I am, and I am not confined to this body and mind. I am the whole existence itself. And how this realization will come by? Only by knowing that you are not limited to the body mind that you consider yourself to be. So this wholeness, this understanding that I'm not limited to this mind and body, only comes when you are able to give others. When you have done the work, when you are able to give selflessly, life has its own ways to give you the depth of understanding, and it has its own ways to make you realize that you are not limited to only one role. You have much more depth in yourself. You are not here to just fulfill your material desires and die. This is really serious, and this is really liberating as well. So Swami Vivekananda has rightly directed us in a very beautiful direction, that selfless service is the way of the divine. At the end, I'll say, whatever work you do, if you make it as an offering to your higher self, to God, that will actually liberate you from all suffering, because suffering is being in bondage of one particular body and mind. That is the ego. So as much as you can be inclusive, as much as you can be loving, the less suffering you face. Suffering is just a signal that you are not, that your understanding is not proper, your understanding is not right and aligned with truth. So work for others, work for the sake of humanity, for the sake of the divine power that you are in your essence. Detach with the body and mind, detach with the thoughts that make you suffer, detach with desires that are not going to help you in your spiritual journey. So the more selfless you become, the more loving and you feel accepted by God itself. The more you accept yourself and you accept others, and the more you feel that the divine, the life, also accepts you. So I will leave you with a verse in Bhagavad Gita that says, "You have a right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. Never consider yourself to be the cause of your activities, nor be attached to inaction." Thank you.